Hello and welcome to this video. My name's Barry Beckham. Can I ask you to consider subscribing to my channel, and if you hit that notification bell you'll be notified when I put up any new videos. PTE AV Studio software is available in two versions, the Standard and the Pro. So the topic here is to compare the two. There is a comparison chart available that shows the differences between the two versions. But until we have some experience of the software, how do we know what's going to be important to us? Perhaps I can help. I've been using this software for very many years, and I'm also the author of the PTE AV Studio promo that you can see here. Let's start with some good news. If you buy the standard version, and later you decide that what you want is the Pro version, you can upgrade easily from one to the other. And the difference between buying the Pro version now or later is just $2, so it's hardly a big issue. The second bit of good news is that both versions are capable of creating stunning slideshows. With our help, of course. Now in this video, if we looked at every single difference between the Standard and the Pro versions, I suspect this video would become very long and quite boring. So I'm just going to talk about my top 5 options in the Pro version that you won't find in the Standard version. I'm going to use my experience and common sense to list these top 5, but remember, they have to be my personal views. My fifth most useful option is how in the Pro version we can see the audio waveforms in the Objects and Animation Editor. Now those waveforms could be music, commentary, sound effects, all three in fact. Seeing the waveform in the same window where we create our animation is extremely helpful. We can drag the keyframes that control our animation to line up with the important parts of our sound, because we can see the sound wave file as well as hear them. Now this option not being available in the Standard version is not insurmountable, but it's one of those things that's very nice to have. The option in the Pro version I'd put in fourth place is color correction. We have several options under this heading which include levels, brightness and contrast, hue and saturation, toning, coloration and negative. Now these options can be used as corrective tools for the images and or the video in our presentation, but they also have good creative uses too. Every one of these options can be applied between keyframes. One example may be an image or a video which opens up on screen in monochrome or sepia tone and gradually melts into full color. Now while these Pro color options are not essential to make a slideshow, they do add considerable depth to what is already great software. In my number 3 position is the ability in the Pro version to create slide styles and themes. We can then use these styles again in a different presentation, or we can export them and share them with others. A slide style is a copy of an image or a video and all of its settings from the moment it first starts to appear on screen to the moment it leaves the screen. Slide styles can include animation, transitions, multiple images, video, text and more. The Standard version of PTE AV Studio does include built-in slide styles, and you can also import slide styles and themes made by others. What you cannot do is create them yourself. Now themes are where we can gather a number of variable slide styles together and then apply that theme to a whole slideshow full of images. Just a couple of clicks is all it takes. In order of importance, I would place dynamic blur as the second most useful option in the Pro version. This option comes high on my list because audiovisual is all about image and video presentation. Dynamic blur is fairly simple, but it's one of the most practical and useful options in the Pro version. It allows us to blur an image, object, text or video for creative effect. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. Presenting text is an obvious one, where the blurring of the image or video beneath the text improves our ability to read that text, and it gives us a more professional appearance. Being able to do this between keyframes is the strength of this option. As the text appears, the image or the video beneath can blur slightly, but as the text fades out, the image can come back sharp. The same principles can be used when presenting portrait format images over another image or a video. Without a doubt, my number one choice of options in the Pro version is the envelope tool, which gives us key point control of sound volume. If you're going to use multiple soundtracks of music, commentary, sound effects, or in fact all three, this option makes the process very easy. In almost all situations where we introduce the spoken word or a sound effect, the main music track volume will need to be reduced, so the spoken words can be clearly heard, or the sound effect isn't drowned out by the music. The Pro version gives us an orange volume line. We can apply audio key points with a single click. Then we can drag those key points down to reduce the volume. If you have a need to do sophisticated sound editing in the standard version, you may have to create your soundtrack in an external sound editor like Audacity. Working in PTE AV Studio Pro, where you can adjust the volume and then immediately listen and evaluate what you've done, is extremely useful, and I use it all the time. So there you have the 5 options, which makes the professional version the choice for me. Incidentally, this video was also created in PTE AV Studio. The demonstration project that you can see on screen here, which comes installed with the software, is also my images and my work. Why not take advantage of a free trial download of PTE AV Studio? The downloaded file contains both the standard and the professional version. It's the license key that finally determines the difference. But you can also check the difference in the trial software via the settings, preferences, the main tab, and then you can compare the 2 installed versions. Thanks for watching, and remember, I've got hundreds of videos that you can download from my website on subjects like Photoshop, selections, RAW, presentation, audio visual, infrared and much more. See you next time.